everyone. Hope everybody is safe and secure in this pandemic situation. Welcome to SAP Online Track. This is Saurabh Manocha. I hold 10 years plus experience with upgrade, migration, and implementation project in S4 HANA and ECC environment. Right now, working with migration projects for carve-outs and merger scenarios. Talking about today's session, we will cover how S4HANA evolved over the years and overview of system migration. Hope this session will give you all the brief intro about the features and tools used in system migration. This is me in the picture with a quote from Anton Chekhov. Let's begin with SAP history over the years. It was 1972 when SAP first launches its R1 system. Then afterwards in 1979, R2 is being introduced. Now it's time for most popular architecture on which the SAP as in software backbone is built. It's R3 and the year was 1992. Then it comes 2011 where the revolution took place with in-memory database launch. It was SAP HANA DB. Years passes by, now another milestone needs to incorporate by SAP in 2015 where they launches S4 HANA. You can say with this a question arises. How is S4 HANA different from current SAP ECC ERP? I can say SAP S4 HANA system differs from SAP ERP system basically in four areas. You know, that would be data model, functionalities, user interface, reporting. Let's move forward. Let's move forward and see what S4 HANA brings to SAP community. It would be unique architecture. SAP S4 HANA unique architecture is quite a contrast from the classical relational database. It runs in memory with data stored in columns, allowing for faster near to real time analytics and compute capabilities. Secondly, it is active decision support. SAP S4HANA focuses on providing end user active decision support in real time, that is data driven and takes into consideration both internal and external sources of data. Now, thirdly, this has been a key driven factor for various businesses, that is digital economy. Now, with using SAP ERP over the years, to seriously start considering the business benefit of S4 HANA and make the decision of whether they should go for the modelization of ERP solution. Now, last not the least, reduce cost of ownership. By reducing data footprint, working with larger data sets in one system, saving hardware cost, it will save operation cost and time also. With SAP S4 HANA, you will get choice of deployment. It would be cloud, on premises, or hybrid to drive quick time to value. Benefits of S4 HANA for customer. Firstly, it is simplification. SAP S4HANA brings about immense simplification to the management and the administration of IT landscape. In fact, simplicity is one of the key features SAP has brought into its ECC application structure. SAP S4HANA enables the centralizing of hardware and network resources and serves as a digital core for business process simplification. Next, it is ease of use. Fury 2.0 provides a modern design for a completely innovative user experience, enabling users to easily access overview pages, work list, and list reports. SAP Fury's UI is designed especially to be highly interactive, personalized, responsive, and simple, which allows user to prompt questions and access required details regardless of device or deployment. Next comes the cost effectiveness, which is important for a customer. Adopting S4 HANA is a smart move as far as the cost efficiency is considered. You have the ability to bring together all the analytics and traditional capabilities of a variety of systems onto one location. This enables immense better decision making. And now its fourth benefit, that is innovation. SAP S4 HANA sets the stage for future innovation. Technology is evolving rapidly, which means merely keeping up does not cut it anymore. Enterprises have to stay ahead of the curve and make decisions that are future ready. S4 HANA application leverage speed, contest, and data accessibility like never before. And now, last not the least, improved performance and speed. S4 HANA enables improved performance by allowing you to plan, execute, generate reports and analytics based on the live data, as well as triggering period closing and providing improved prediction. It also enables your organization to provide better service for customer centric applications. Centric applications. Now let's move to what platforms offered by SAP S4 HANA. SAP S4 HANA provides on-premises and on-cloud. Okay. SAP S4 HANA on-premises edition is the ERP business suite based on the SAP HANA in-memory database. With on-premises, the customer manages everything, including the HANA database, application, data centers, OS, middlewares, servers, virtualization, and networking. On the other hand, it is SAP S4 HANA Cloud Edition. This Cloud Edition is the SaaS version of S4 HANA. SaaS deployment means that users can take advantage of much of on-premises S4 HANA functionality without needing the hardware, database, IT staff required for the on-premises. Let's see the next slide, where we will see the advantages of both S4 HANA on cloud and then on premises. Let's see first advantage of S4 HANA on cloud. First is subscription licensing, which means that one predictable monthly payment covers everything from infrastructure to SAP upgrade. Secondly, it is predefined best practice compliance implementation. This means there are predefined compliance which will be handled by cloud vendor itself. Thirdly, it would be system infrastructure and maintenance is under cloud vendor. As you can see, maintenance is under cloud vendor, so the costing of the teams required for OS and network etc. support will be reduced. And in the last, SAP offers limited version of functionality with S4 HANA Cloud. Now let's shift our focus to advantages of S4 HANA on premises. As you can see, it would be traditional licensing, which means a primarily purchase with annual maintenance. The license fee allows the company to own the software and reduce the current maintenance cost. Secondly, it would be high compliance implementation, which means customized customer or company based compliance can be implemented. And thirdly, it would be deployment and maintenance is under customer. This means individual customer has control over planning, testing, and upgrade of the systems in the environment. Last not the least, the advantages of on-premises S4 HANA would be SAP provide full ERP scope for this. In the next slide, let's talk about system migration. What is system migration? Let me define this in a layman term for you. System migration is the transfer of business process, IT resources to a newer hardware infrastructure or a different software platform. Digital migration is a process of replacing broadcasting services offered on analog technology with digital based network. As you can see, there are different migration approach which can be considered while moving to S4 HANA. First one would be the greenfield approach, the second one would be the brownfield approach, and third would be the landscape transformation. We will discuss each approach in detail with further coming slides. The greenfield approach, which is also called as new implementation. The greenfield approach requires a new implementation of SAP S4 HANA. Since you have to start everything from scratch, the upside to this is that you can redefine and simplify the business processes and take full advantages of S4 HANA capabilities. As you know, now this approach requires new setup. So you can choose any platform for target system, which could be on premises or on cloud. Friends, let's move to our next approach, the brownfield approach, which is also called as system conversion. With all the repercussions of the greenfield approach, there is an alternative way, the brownfield route. This is SAP's newest recommendation for existing customers who are operating on SAP ECC and want to migrate to SAP S4 HANA, but still keep their investment in the current system. With system conversion, you will move the whole system and business process to a new platform of S4 HANA. Last not the least, landscape transformation. The focus of landscape transformation is not on the whole system conversion, but rather on selective parts of the business process that you want to migrate. Using SAP landscape transformation, you can perform selective data migration to SAP S4 HANA or consolidate your business landscape into one global system. This can also be named as Bluefield approach, which is used in carve-out and merger projects. In current market scenario, this approach is getting popular nowadays. There are several companies which are providing tools for this approach on the lower cost. One of the biggest player competing SAP in Germany market would be SNP with its transformation cockpit tool. Friends, let's add some technical touch to our today's interaction. Firstly, we will see the tools which are being required for system migration. It would be SWPM, Software Provisioning Manager. Secondly, there would be a SUM with a DMO option. Some would be Software Update Manager and an ETL. ETL would be Interaction, Transformation and Loading tool. Now in the next slide, we can see where we can download these tools from. We need to go to Service Marketplace and search for Software Logistics Toolset 1.0 with latest patch. Why this toolset? This holds the latest version of SWPM software and some software available on Service Marketplace. As you can see, the navigation is provided on the left side of the slide. This diagram defines the classical migration versus some DMO. You can say first and mostly used approach for technical migration is classical migration. which is heterogeneous system copy using classical migration tools such as SWPM, R3 load, migration monitor, etc. There are three major steps with classical migration to S4 SAP HANA. First would be perform an export of your source on any DB database. Create your target system on SAP S4HANA via database import. And thirdly, it would be perform post-load activities and additional configuration. This classical migration is a well practiced method to bring your system to SAP S4HANA. It has been widely used for years and the most mature approach of the two. On the other hand, it may have some disadvantages for specific cases, especially in terms of flexibility and preparation activities. Yes, you may need to perform several preparation steps on your system for SAP S4HANA if you are performing a classical migration. For instance, if your system is non Unicode, then you have to perform a Unicode conversion first. Also, if your release is not supported by SAP S4 HANA, you have to perform an upgrade first to bring it to a supported release. Then you can proceed with the migration. Migration through DMO. It is an option of some software update manager which combines system update, technical migration, and Unicode conversion. DMO of some helps you to avoid landscape changes like SID and hostname and allows the combination of all relevant steps for the in-place migration to the target database. That will be Unicode conversion, upgrade, and migration in one tool itself. It is a one-step migration procedure compared to classical migration approach. One tool to rule them all. DMO option offers simplified migration steps, hence less errors, reduce manual efforts compared to classical migration. Also reduced and only on business downtime period, which can also be optimized slash minimized depending on the scenario. More importantly, source database is consistent, continue to run, and it is not modified. Therefore, it can be reactivated to run with a medium effort in case of fallback. So it is a totally safe option. You can see with this slide, the DMO has some features added while performing system migration. Tool which have SAP upgrade, Unicode conversion, and database migration available under one hood. Secondly, it would be near zero downtime technology. And third, it has introduced with zero downtime option. We will detail this in next slide and mentioned about how it will be working. In this slide, we will see the upgrade procedures of Sunbed DMO. There are three modes. Firstly, we will talk about the standard mode. Here, what standard modes will do, it would be creating a shared memory or a shared system, and then the downtime starts where the shutdown of the instance will be taking place, and then the upgrade, actual upgrade, the technical downtime is being taken. In that, we need to import the transports after the upgrade, and then sgen is being needed to regenerate the objects which are being upgraded. So In this, you can see the business downtime starts from a shutdown of your system till the validation. But in the case of NZDM, that is near zero time downtime mode, is the significant reduction of the business downtime compared to previous update tools. Because more of the downtime relevant update phases are executed while the system is still up and available for business users. The following deployment phases are executed in near zero downtime mode during uptime. Table structure adjustment including conversion based on record and replay technique. Main import based on record and replay technique. When it's said that it uses record and replay technique, it means that the database changes during uptime of the maintenance process create triggers which record the changes. The recording are only needed for tables which are used for the update and upgrade in the shadow. With the help of the recording, the shadow tables will be updated after the upgrade and update phases in the uptime. The majority of the recording updates are run in the uptime. Only the delta, that is the 10%, which are been remaining, has to run just before the switch in the downtime. Just to add into this, both standard and advanced mode contain major improvements for minimizing the technical downtime are generally available for all customers. But neither of the two can reduce the technical outage down to zero. In order to achieve that, SAP has introduced a next level of downtime optimization, that is ZDO of some. It is in a pilot project, so it should be make sure that you should be getting this on the request basis. About this zero downtime approach, in this figure you can see that with zero downtime the technical downtime can be eliminated completely, but it is replaced by uptime on bridge. Here you can see the uptime of a bridge. SAP has introduced bridge terminology with zero downtime option, where part of your existing system will run in parallel to the upgrade instance, where the maintenance event is triggered by the software update manager, that is SUM. Usually at the certain point of time, end users will be logged out from the system and the technical downtime starts. In case of zero downtime option, all users will be transferred to the so-called bridge subsystem. The good thing is the users do not even realize this since the transition to bridge happens in the background. Bridge is basically the clone of your system, but the good part is that it does not clone entire schema. Instead, it will just clone tables that will be touched by the update procedure. Lastly, to add, this optimization technique is available as project which needs to be requested as per the instruction mentioned in below SAP notes. So obviously, this approach is not generally available. The notes can be searched on Service Marketplace. The notes number would be 2163060 for Business Suite and 2707731 for S4 HANA. In the next slide, you can see I have provided the DMO phases in sum. Here it would be the phases which are being at the time of uptime. You can see the phases which will be running at the time of uptime. You can see the description of the particular phase and the directory where the logs are being created. So it is a useful information which holds the phases, the description, and the logs, and the location of the logs. So you can see here everything goes with uptime in DMO and rest with downtime. In next slide, we will see the technical jargons introduced with DMO. There are benchmarking tool, uptime migration, downtime migration, duration file, and optimizing table splitting. This is all from my side. Thanks all for listening me patiently. I hope this session has fulfilled the deed of the hour. Stay safe and secure.